Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with. I was going to say Eldrazi Ramp. I always want to go with Eldrazi Ramp first for some reason. We are back with Basking Broodscale on the play for game one. I mean, this is looking solid. I'm not even sure I want to play as a Saga. Actually, trying to think here. Yeah, I'm not sure I even want to play her as a Saga. I think instead we go Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi, and white. Fleshraker, pass, and pass. Yeah, because then we can go Saga, Fleshraker, Landmore Waste into Sethroth. Yeah, I think that should be good. Double Dark Slick. Because 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll be short on the Sethroth. There's a frog. I mean, we could just force check here. Yeah, that's looking appealing. Could E-temp, X equals 2. That gives us 3. We flesh rake. Yes. So I will K command ramp exile. X equals 2. So let's force check. And done. Trigger, always yield. Pitches Bloodghast. Huh? Pitches Bloodghast. Flare of Malice. Unexpected. 2. And Flesh Rake. Did I even need E-temp? If I played Saga, X equal 2, no, I guess I didn't need E-temp. Could have just played Urza Saga. Double Bloodghast, interesting. Okay. I guess one of the benefits of going that route is now I do have the ability to Sethroth. At the same time, Malevolent Rumble's tempting here. So we could Sethroth, draw a card, or we can Malevolent Rumble. I'm going to start with Rumble. I guess at the same time, Sethroth does give us a decent blocker. Yeah, that's true. Double Bloodghast, blue, black, Flare of Malice, frog. Sacrifice, the Eldrazi spawn. Verdant Cat, drain you. Next turn, maybe fire off Rumble first. Interesting. Another Flare of Malice. I'll sacrifice the Flesh Rake here. And pass. And pass. What am I playing against? Frog, Flare of Malice, Bloodghast. Haven't seen a single counter spell. That's like blue-black mid-range. Bait, but okay. Fatal Push. Bloodghast, Phyrexian Tower. Okay. 2 cards in hand, Phyrexian Tower. Huh. Bloodghast, sure. Draw. Ancient Stirrings versus Rumble. I will Rumble. There's Broodscale, there's Ballista. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can grab Broodscale. Urza Saga trigger. And pass. I guess I could have actually flipped the Sephiroth now that I think about it, if I had gone Ballista. It's a thought, but the Broodscale does present an end to this game, potentially. Flare of Malice. Okay, I'll take the 6. Yes, down to 16. One card in hand, trigger Saga their Springleaf. So I'm thinking we fire off Ancient Stirrings. Grab a Glaring Flesh Rake. Do I even need to play it right now? I mean, Flare's an instant speed spell. Play Verdant Cat. Fetch Verdant Cat. Forest. Springleaf Drum is mana neutral. And no reason to play the Broodscale right now. We just make a construct and call it a day. Alright. Construct will be a 2/2. Two cards in hand and 3 Bloodcast after 3 Flare of Malice. Huh. Make a construct. Go to blockers. Cost. Chthonian Nightmare. Okay. Sure. Okay. Oculus. Sure. I mean, you're dead. Yeah? Okay. Oculus. So the only thing in hand is the Chthonian Nightmare. Fatal Push. And I don't need to do anything else. We just tap Saga. Grab Blade. Cast Broodscale. Equip Blade. And opponent scoops it up. So I guess it's an Oculus build with Chthonian Nightmare. Fascinating. So we are going to want Grafdigger's Cage, Soul Guide. I guess I'll treat this more like Oculus than anything else. So let's see. Oculus. Golgari build. Oculus. Bring in Dismember. Cut. See, normally I'd cut Sephiroth because normally I'm blocking frogs. I mean, Haywire Might's definitely not needed. Vexing Vobble's definitely not needed. I guess I could cut Ballista Fleshraker here instead, since this seems to be more mid-rangey. So, Fleshrake, Ballista, Vexing, Haywire Might, and bring in 2 Dismember as well. Yeah, I mean, that seems right. Alright, let's run like this. Seems like I was trying to loop value with Chthonian Nightmare, and so between Grafter's Cage and Soul Guy Lantern, we should be good. I mean, Cage on 1, but we do nothing. We draw into no lands. Best hit off the top is an E-Temp. Second best hit, a land? Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. This one's a bit rough. I mean, it's also really good if we draw into a blade and then a land. Fine, we'll keep it. We have a decent number of hits. We have a decent turn 1 play at the Grafdigger's Cage. Traverse actually does get us to our turn 2 land. We'll start off with Cage though. Pass. This way at least we hit our land drop next turn if we don't draw into one. Yeah, Dismember available in case of a Harbinger. Again, would love a... Okay, there's Unearth. So yeah, this is just a weird Oculus build, I guess. Here's Frog. Like a blocker. There's E10. Okay. Do we play Flesh Rake? I mean, I don't exactly want to block with Flesh Rake is the thing. We could block with Ballista, but that doesn't feel great. The alternative option, of course, is that we just let them hit us. So I think we probably just do that. Play the Flesh Rake while shields are down and pass. I mean, this might get a flare out, maybe. Other thought was to traverse. And then we might get hit by a force, I suppose. We want to cast while their shields are down. But we didn't see a lot in the way of counterspells, so I don't know. I don't know what to make of this deck. This confuses me a bit. 6 cards in hand. I mean, I don't imagine they flip the frog. They just attack in, see if I'm willing to block, which I'm not. So I'll just take the 1. I don't like giving them cards, but I don't think I have much of a choice here. Hit 19, draw a card, up to 7. Black. Stitcher Supplier. Chthonian Nightmare. Okay. 1 blue source, 2 blue source up. Blue, black, another frog. Satoru. Huh. Flare. Draw. Broodscale Traverse. I mean, we could simply traverse, grab a land, and then play Broodscale. Yeah, that seems probably correct. So forest, forest. The alternative is that we hit Satoru. I mean, they're not going to draw cards, they're just going to hit me for 2. And that's all? Yeah, that's fine. Play the Broodscale and pass. Oculus and Yard. And they might just play an Oculus here, which is fine. Not ideal, but fine. We can always kill it with Dismember. I'm not going to block here. I'll take the 3. Pitch Phyrexian Tower. On the 14, up to 4 cards in hand. Black. Fatal Push. Yep. 3 in hand, 2 in hand. Dark Slick, draw. Sephiroth. I mean, Sephiroth's a decent blocker, though it doesn't do anything to Satoru here. 2 cards in hand and 2 blue up is a little bit discouraging for this K command, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm tempted to play it on their turn in that case. Question is, do we hit the Satoru or the frog? Probably the frog. Frog's the bigger threat in the grand scheme. Probably want to go K command on upkeep then. Ramp in exile. Yeah, let's do that. On upkeep, Ramp in exile. And done. Okay, it resolves. We can now dismember Satoru if we want. Not sure it's entirely necessary. I mean, I'm not against the idea. At the same time, I'm thinking we just take the 2. We can block with Sephiroth next turn. They have their own Sephiroth. Interesting. Okay, they draw a card. Drain me. Yeah, do we want to dismember Sephiroth? Maybe. Watergrave tap tells me they don't have anything going on. Passing. Draw. Urza Saga. Okay, so there is everything we need. I just need to survive a couple turns. So black. 2, 3. I guess the question is, do I want to play the Broodscale? Probably not, right? I guess we can still play the Broodscale even after we cast the Sephiroth. Yep. Alright. No reason to play the Broodscale right now. We'll just hold the Dismember. If they want to slam Sephiroth into Sephiroth, I'm okay with that. Paying cost for Flare in response. Sephiroth down is fine. A second Broodscale that we can use as bait. And adapt. Fatal push, perfect. And pass. You can make a Saga token next turn. Do I even want to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, we can pretty easily, but there's no reason to necessarily. I guess there is if it doesn't resolve for some reason. Okay. Draw. Tap. Blade. Broodscale. Attempt to equip. Do you have interaction? Adapt. And bane cost. Fatal push. Yep. Equip. Combat. Swing for 3. Pass. Down to 14. 2 in hand. No, not a single blood gas somehow. Draw. Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Back up Broodscale. Equip. Adapt. Paying cost. I guess I could have adapted first. If they killed it, then at least the construct would have gotten a +1/+1. What's this? What are you doing? Okay, flare. Yeah, I guess that's true. At least that way the construct would have been a bit bigger. Alright. Combat. Down to 11. Cost. Unearth. Sorry, you can't. Draw. Halfling. Combat. I guess I should have played the Walking Ballista first for an extra damage. Yeah, a few mistakes here and there. Done. And pass. And pass. I guess I should hold. Yeah, it would have been at 7. That would have been lethal damage. And you still have lethal damage. Bloodghast. That's haste. Block. I think I might just ping you. Any reason not to? I mean, it kind of is just mana neutral because of the construct, or neutral as far as damage, because it grows the construct. Opponent concedes. Opponent concedes. Okay. That's a bit of a weird one. Not entirely sure what to make of it, but we got the win. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. I mean, yeah, we'll keep it. It's a bit of a mid-range hand. Eldrazi Temp, pass. Landwar Waste, Flesh Raker next turn. Oh, did Moto? No. Moto just kind of froze there for a second. We'll pass. What say you, friend? Ooh. So this is looking like it is... looking like it is Belcher. So we need to assemble the combo and do it quick. We'll pass. Blue. Stern Scolding. Now, I wasn't expecting to see that. Is that new in Belcher? Maybe. Ancient Stirrings number 1. And they're going Flesh Rake or the Saga. The Saga would get us to Blade. The Flesh Rake would be the finisher, though. Huh. Interesting. And we still have 2 more digs. I think we go Flesh Rake here and set up. Landwar Waste. And pass. Do you have another Stern Scolding? Disrupting Shoal. Pass. They pitched a land for it. They still have another. Draw. Forest. Stirrings. And there's Basking Broodscale, so we definitely want to grab that. Play a land for turn. Malevolent Rumble. Because right now I'm afraid of a Jawari Disruption. Spell Snare. Wild. Alright. Well, this is looking kind of grim. They have an untapped land and Belcher. Were for 0. Do you have Tameshi? Land, Belcher. Tameshi. Do you have Tameshi Belcher as the final card? No shot. And I guess you could also go for Seagate. No, so no Belch. Draw. Flush Rake. So now all we need is Blade. Three. Sink. Gemstone. Flash Rake. Pass. Alright. And if you have the win, you have the win. Pick up Lotus Bloom. Yep, so you have access to 5. Might just be trying to draw cards to find. So 5 minus 1, 4, 7. So I could go for the Seagate. If we draw into Blade, we win though. Yeah. Lotus Bloom. Spell Snare, Stern Scolding, and Disrupting Shoal. Sing the Stupor as well? Jesus. No attacks. Draw. No shot. Broodscale. Trigger. Always yield. Three. Sink in the Stupor. I guess they could Disrupting Shoal, Flare. Always yield. Cast Blade of the Blood Chief. No reason to play the Overgrown Tomb. Equip. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's no reason to play the Overgrown Tomb. Let's go to combat. Attack. And trigger 1. Always yield. I mean, we're just going for the kill here. Down to 5, we pass. Pass. Lotus Bloom. Draw a card. Did you find the Belcher? I mean, they're gonna have to block next turn in case we have a colorless spell. Land tapped. 4, 5, 5. Waterlogged Teachings. Enter the into the Floodmaw, really? Huh. Okay. Draw. All right. Fleshraker. Trigger. And Bone Scoops it up. So this is Belcher. I mean, we got extremely lucky. They just somehow never drew into Belcher. They had the mana for days. They also had just so much interaction. I don't remember Belcher having that much interaction. So we want Pithy Needle. Let's take a look at the guide. He's a Belcher. So cut all 4 Sephiroth, Pithy Needle, Lantern, 2 Dismember. Yeah, I guess Lantern is kind of relevant. And then just cut all 4 Sephiroth, because mid-range game plan just really isn't great. Alright, let's run it like this. I guess one benefit of Sephiroth is that attacking in for 3/3 is a clock. Something to think about. Maybe cut 2 Sephiroth, cut a Fleshrake Ballista. It's a thought. It's a thought. Opponent will be bringing in Consign, probably Harbinger as well. So I just need to keep that in mind. And they have plenty of counter magic already. So I'll have to just play around that. A lot of cheap interaction. Oof, if only we had a land, I'd be okay with this. Mulligan. Hand's not doing a lot. I mean, we could angle for the Emrakul long term. Pitch, what, a land war waste? Yeah. Done. Pass. Seagate, shock, or other bolt, draw. There's a blade. Okay. Ancient Stirrings. There's a Broodscale. Any order. We'll pass. I think we Urza Saga Rumble. And try and set up for the Broodscale Blade. Draw. Saga trigger. Rumble. Get a spell snare. Yep. And pass. Two archaeologists. So question then becomes, do they have a Flare of Denial? Draw. Trigger. Doesn't matter now if the Cavern of Souls. Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Green, colorless. Basking Broodscale resolves. The lighted halfling or blade. Go blade. And at that point, we'll... Oh, actually, maybe I should have gone with the halfling. I guess we have everything we need. Yeah, we have everything we need, unless they're able to interact. Because we have the Emrakul, we can make it uncounterable. Play E-Temp, equip. Yeah. They specifically are going to need a bounce spell. I mean, we could just go Pith Needle of Saga named Goblin Belcher, and that should give us plenty of time. There's no reason not to do that, I think. Harbinger. Yeah, that's fine. Holds up blue. Draw. Flesh Rake. We can't play flat. Well, we actually can, so we will be able to. I will equip. I will adapt. Always yes. Always yield. We're going to try and bait them out with the Emrakul. No, they have something else. They have Consign. That is brutal. In that case, I think the best thing we can do here is attack. I mean, they can't block. They do, it triggers. Down to 14, we pass. Yeah, consigning the trigger is good. We can make constructs next turn for what it's worth. 4 in hand. I mean, I don't think there was much in the way of choices there, honestly. Next turn we can play a halfling. Right now we have 4, 5. Emrakul is way off. We need 8 more mana. End step. Draw. Ballista. I mean, Ballista starts the trigger. So in that case, do we just go Ballista to start off? Only downside would be if Ballista gets countered. Yeah, let's go Ballista for 0. It avoids a spell snare, avoids a disrupting shoal. Or can Shoal go for 0? I guess Shoal can go for 0. Would have been better for us to go for 4. X equals 2. Maybe. Maybe. Play Halfling. Combat. Hold the Saga. They're at 11. Saga became so much better with the new ruling. Gonna pause on end step. Lotus Bloom to Yard, okay. Or to exile, rather. Wait, why did that just say I could make colorless? Oh, because it keeps its chapter abilities. Ooh. Well... Layers. Layers is the answer to that. Can I still make... Is that right? Am I supposed to be able to? I guess, yeah, because the chapters have already been seen. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, well, go to combat. Three, five, six. Yeah, I don't know why you'd block that, knowing what you know. And Bone scoops it up. Yeah, they misplayed there. They should not have blocked. Point blank statement. Because then it triggers, then I have a spawn, and then I can cast Emrakul, see if they have a counter spell, Glaring Flesh Rake, rinse repeat. Cool. Good stuff. But yeah, I did not realize that the Saga could produce colorless. If I had known that, I could have played the Flesh Rake a lot earlier, had that eat a counter spell, and then go for Ballista X0 to start off the chain. Whoops. Well, learn something new every day. That being said, we'll be back for match 3. Alright, we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep it. I'll pass. Inspiring Vantage, is this burn? Passing. That's suspect. Fetch. Overgrown Tomb, shock. Halfling. Pass. I'm expecting something to hit the halfling, no. Inspiring Vantage, no plays on turn 1. Okay, Corey. Hammer time? That'd be my next guess. I'll take the 2. Yep. Draw. There's Blade. Okay. So what I can do then, and I can play the Broodscale Blade, or I can just play the Blade. No, I need to play... If I play Sephiroth, I can play Blade, Broodscale, it'd still be off 1 mana. In that case, I mean, I think I just go Broodscale, right? I don't know what I'm playing against the thing. It feels like Hammer Time. You could go Sephiroth, but we'd be 1 mana off of equipping is the problem. I'm gonna go Ancient Stirrings. Another Blade, and then there's a Saga. Saga. Stirrings, or just cast Blade and use Halfling as a blocker if needed. I mean, it has Trample, so I'm doubtful blocking is going to be decent here. A second Broodscale. Vexing Bauble is also, funny enough, tempting. But I think a second Broodscale would be good. Cast the Blade, and then pass. Bauble. Because, yeah, we can cast Broodscale Saga. Yeah, this feels like Hammer Time, the more I look at it. So I'm not sure if they have any interaction game 1. Shapeshifter's Gift. Could be another Corey Steel Cut. Colossal Hammer. Sigardazade. Shadow Spear. Trigger. Okay. Draw. Boseiju. Saga Trigger. So we can play the Broodscale. We can equip it. But then we can't do anything after is the biggest thing. So instead I think we hold K command X equals 2 and Boseiju. I guess we could also just X equals 0. And Boseiju if absolutely needed. Urza Saga. Sacred Foundry, Shocked 18, paying cost. There's the Sigardazade. Why play Hammer now? I guess the trigger Corey Steel Cut so they can attack with a wider board. Yes. Okay. Put on the Trample Monk. 2 cards in hand. Yes. I don't think they have Protection main. Shadow Spear's fine. Does it give it ward or anything? No. Okay. They're tapped out. So let's not belabor the point then. I guess it's still in main. Go to combat. Ramp Exile. Done. We'll take the 6. Or not. And they're tapped out. They've played all their lands. This should be the game then. Trigger. Alright, biggest thing now is I want to make sure I hold up a black source for Sephiroth. Equip. Trigger. Always yield. Always yes. Always yield. Sephiroth. Sack the spawn. Choose you. Save targets. Always yield. Flush Raker just to make it go that much faster. Unfortunately, I do have to stack the triggers every time. And opponent scoops it up. Opponent scoops it up. Alright, we got there. So this is Hammer Time. I don't think I have a sideboard guide for Hammer Time, though. I think it's below 1% meta share right now. I mean, Wastegate Battle Mage is a no-brainer. Vexing Bobble's not doing much. Hayramite's good. Dismember is solid. thinking maybe Thief. And cut 3 Sephiroth. Or like this. You know, you could cut all 4 theoretically. And keep a Flesh Rake in. That might be right. Is Toxic Deluge right? Maybe, actually. Do we have room for Deluge? We cut a Rumble, cut a Flesh Rake for 2. For Deluge? You already cut Sephiroth, we have Dismember, we have the Wastecape and Thief. Wastecape and Thief have a lot of overlap. Maybe the 3rd Deluge is better than the Thief? Yeah, let's do that, and then we can bring in the Thief on game 3 on the play. That seems fine. Gemstone Caverns is nice. Saga, Stirrings, fine. And hold. Sacred Foundry, shock. No. Okay, no turn on place, no Esper Sentinel. Mishra's Bauble. That tells me they don't have a Quarry Steel cut in hand, otherwise they would have held that for turn 2. It's possible that they might need a land. No, maybe not. The Seiju solid. Urza Saga trigger. Stirrings. Bauble target me. Sure. There's Blade. Yeah, we'll grab a Blade. Pass. Next turn we can hold the Windswept Teeth. I have no plays right now. Sunbaked Canyon. Stoneforge. We can get rid of the Stoneforge. Do we need to is another question. Quarry Steel cut. I mean, it's mana neutral. K command. Oh. Windswept Teeth. So we can make a construct that's a 2/2. We can Dismember, we can Beseiju, we can not K command though. Do we want to Dismember the Stoneforge? I don't think so. I don't think they're like if it's a Cauldron Complete, then yeah, sure, I'll K command or I'll Dismember it, but it's just a Quarry Steel cut. Yeah, we'll hold. We don't need a black source because we have the gemstones. We can just go for a forest off the Windswept. We can K command next turn after playing the Saga. That would have to be on main phase 1, which is the only downside. Okay. Combat. Why? Forest. Saga. What's the thought process here? To blocks. It's not like you have a Sigarda's Aid. Alright, just not paying attention and the opponent will shame scoop. I'll take the win. A win is a win. Alright, well, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep this. Halfling's good, Temple's good, Broodscale's great, Scouting Tarn, Ballista. Let's start with Ancient Stirrings then. E-Temp. So now we can go onto the Fleshraker plan. Question of the day is what we're playing against. Fetch. Surveil. Hedge Maze. Living End. Yep. As soon as I saw the Hedge Maze, I was like, there's not a lot of decks that run Hedge Maze. Living End was the first that come to mind. E-Temp. So there's a couple of thoughts here. We could go Saga. But I think it'd be too slow to get through a Bobble's the problem. If I played it on 1, then we may have been okay. Probably go Saga next turn into Sephiroth, potentially. If they just fire off Living End, then that should be okay. Island. Planar Genesis. Okay, maybe not Living End? What in the what? Planar Genesis. Oh. Land to play tapped. Pass. Misty Rain. Hedge Maze. No black, just green, blue. Oh! This is Neobrand. Shoot. Okay. Yep, this is Neobrand. Realization hit me like a ton of bricks. I'll tell you what. Might is mana neutral, so Saga trigger. Cast Might, mana neutral. Love to see a Vexing Bobble right now. Sephiroth. Sacrifice Might, trigger. There's Blade. Save targets. I mean, I could just try and continue to drain them. Ballista would be trigger number 2. Might would be, or that would be trigger number 3. And there would be another one, so we could flip Sephiroth. Walking Ballista. So I saved targets, but I didn't always yield. Always yield. Sephiroth flips. Go to combat. So we have lethal damage on board. Down to 6. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're short right now. Down to 6. And pass. As I said, lethal's on board. We can equip Blade to Sethroth even, sack the Flesh Rake. And that will give us 2 additional damage. That's flying even. Opponent scoops it up. We got there. Ooh. I was not expecting that. As soon as I realized that it was Neobrand, I was like, I'm in danger. I just need to press forward with as much pressure as possible. So, Grafdiggers. Dismember. Let's take a look at my guide. Because Neobrand is somehow still over 1%. Grafdigger, Soul Guide, Dismember. That's right. We want Soul Guide because of Hooting Mandrill. You can cut 3 Sethroth. I guess since we're on the draw, it's 4 Sethroth. Yes. Still want Might in case it is the quote-unquote fair version with Birthing Writ. Springleaf Trum for Hooting Mandrill. Not Springleaf, Soul Guide Lantern for Hooting Mandrill. Then Grafdigger's Vexing Bauble, of course. And then our combo pieces. Dismember if they play the Allosaurus Rider ahead of Grafdigger's Cage or Vexing Bauble. Okay, this seems good. One could argue with Thief, but maybe bring Thief in on the play. Yeah, maybe that's right. Because again, could it... Okay, there's Bauble, there's Gemstone. I will keep Gemstone. I think we exile the Might here and pass. So we can rumble into Bauble, look for Blade, draw, Saga. Okay, so we can Saga, trigger, rumble. No Blade, but we find a Flesh Rake. We'll take the Flesh Rake. You did need a payoff. Bauble. Pass. Next turn we can Flesh Rake. Yeah, the Gemstone Cavern may have just saved me. Scouting Tarn Fetch. So now they need to find a way to deal with Bauble that is not Force of Vigor. So they need specifically a Beseiju, most likely. They can't cast the Allosaurus Rider. Disciple to Freyalise, yep. Pact is also offline. Draw, trigger. There's Blade. Okay. Landmore Waste. Clearing Flesh Rake, we'll pass. Hedge Maze, Pact Yard. Yep, Pact's doing nothing. So next turn, we have the win. Hedge Maze. We can go a second Blade as well. Just in case. There's Ballista. Okay. So in that case, tap. Second Blade. Cast. Broodscale. Trigger. Attempt to equip. Trigger. Always yield. There's no interaction here, we just win. A turn 1 Bauble will get us there. If they had Beseiju for the Blade, yeah, they would have used it earlier when I went to equip. All right, we got there. Clean to a win against Neobrand. I'll take it. With that said, we'll be back for match 5 and potentially our first 5-0 with Basking Broodscale. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. I will keep, we're looking for Blade. Ugin's Lab. Okay, so maybe not Broodscale like I was thinking. Looking more like Eldrazi Ramp. Okay, so it's Ramp versus Broodscale. I mean, I'm thinking reverting Catacombs just so we can thin. The question now is whether or not they play Karn. If they play Karn, we're in trouble. But I think based on the last list I've seen of Mr. Twin, they don't. Oh, Ghost Quarters, though. Brutal. I mean, we definitely want to go for Overgrown Tomb, then. End step fetch. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Holding K command X equals 2. I'm not sure if I want to play the Land War Waste, actually. I kind of want that colorless source. We could go Forest. We could play the Broodscale, right? But that really doesn't do us any good. We'll just hold for the Beseiju. They'll K command X equals 2. And we could Beseiju their lab. Yes. They'll knock them down 1, so from 6 down to 5. And we'll wait for them to scry draw before doing so. That way if they do top, then they have a choice of whether or not to shuffle it away. Let's see, top draw, or what will they end up doing? I imagine they'll shuffle regardless, but it's always good to disrupt a game plan. Because they might draw the card, expecting to draw the second one, right? One top, one bottom draw. Beseiju Ugin Lab. We'll use the ability. There's a commercial district. Puts a Stomping Ground in the yard. That's scary because that tells me they have a land in hand, and if they have a Sowing Megaspawn as well, we are in trouble. Even a World Breaker here would be pretty difficult. Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh. 6 or 7. 6 or 7. 6? Okay, so that's a Sowing Megaspawn kicked. I mean, hit the Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, that's a problem. It's going to set me back a land, so no Flesh Rake next turn, which was my plan. I mean, Ramp's also a little bit difficult because it runs main deck K return, right? Yeah. Tomb down, so no Sephiroth either. Since we did see the K command, I'm wondering if I play Broodscale here. Land War Waste. We could Land War Waste and hope they don't interact. That's a tall order. I think we just Broodscale here and pass. The thing is, I only have 2 forests, don't I? Yeah, so that Ghost Quarter is deadly. I mean, at the very least, I guess I can adapt next turn, if nothing else. Just doesn't feel great. Glaring Flesh Rake. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking we're playing at too much of a disadvantage here. was thinking if this was a mirror match, might be better position, but they're on ramp instead. Take the 3 down to 16. Do you Ghost Quarter me? Oh, maybe even worse. So Myco Spawn? I mean, actually, it's just as bad. Chrysalis is fine. Yeah. We can play with Chrysalis. No Ghost Quarter. Saga. I mean, the Saga will absolutely eat a Ghost Quarter. And they can do it before it even gets a chapter or a Saga counter. So we'll go Landwar Waste and Glorian Flesh Rake. Then pass. I mean, we're kind of angling for K command at this point. No attacks. I feel like they would have held up a red source if they had the K return instead they played the Chrysalis. K command X equals 3. Hits the Flesh Rake? Potentially. Oh, they're gonna go even deeper? I mean, that's an X equals 6. That would put Chrysalis at a 16-16, meaning I'd have to block it with either Broodscale or Flesh Rake. No, never mind. It'd be at 11. 6 hits the Broodscale. I mean, that's the right choice. I have fewer Broodscales in deck than I do have payoffs. So that makes sense to me. I only have one typing yard. There's no chance of this Emrakul getting cast right now. What can I draw into that would save me here? There's not much, honestly. Let me go Landwar Waste, K command, X2. Ugin Lab. No imprint. 6, 7. Tapping the Ghost Quarter, 8. That's an Emrakul, isn't it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it is. I have 0 recourse. They'll slam the Flesh Raker in. Yeah, I will just concede to that. There is nothing I can do. Alright, so that is Eldrazi Ramp. Lost for game 1. Let's go to sideboard. So, Damn Sphere really does nothing here. E-Ramp, where are you? We cut Sephiroth, Bauble for Soul Guide, Wasescape, and Thief. Yeah, that seems right. And cut Bauble, and cut 3 Sephiroth. And a Gemstone. We'll cut the 4th on the draw. Because Dismember's not doing much, Deluge isn't doing much, Sphere's doing absolutely nothing. I mean, it would have done some there, but it's really just not worth it. E-Ramp can play through it very easily. Alright. Like, Tron, good. E-Ramp, no. Okay. I don't think they're on Karn, so I don't think I need to worry about that or think about it too much. We'll bring in Dismember. There's Saga, there's Broodscale, there's Sephiroth. Yeah, that looks solid. We have the K command. I'm trying to think of the sequencing here. We want to go Saga on 1. That much is clear. Play it trigger. Do we Broodscale on 2? And they'd have to go E-Temp, E-Temp in order to hit the Broodscale of a K command X2, otherwise they would need a Dismember. I guess I could also go Lab, Talisman, Land, right? But we'll be able to see that sequence coming. So we'll pass in full. Other option is to what? E-temp K command X1. And then Landwar Waste. Yeah, I mean, I guess that does work. Draw. Saga trigger. I mean, if they have a lab into K return, that would be a problem. They only run between 3 and 4 copies, though. So if we go E-temp, we could go K command X equals 1. And then we go Landwar Waste, Broodscale, 1 floating. Saga, tap, equip, sack. But then we have no payoff is the problem, right? The K command right now is the payoff. So it might just be best for me to play the Broodscale. Yeah, I think we send it. So Landwar Waste. Just force them to have the interaction. Pass. And if they go lab into K return, that's a pretty slow start. E-temp, okay. So K command's offline, K returns offline. They would need a Dismember. Nature's Claim is brutal though. Still, a bit of a slow start for them, so I'm okay with that. Let's start with Halfling here. Second Saga. And combat. Down to 18, pass. Now I do have to worry about K command, K return if they have another land. The Nature's Claim is brutal though. Paying cost for what? Bolt. It is a bolt. Draw. Trigger. Second Broodscale. They missed their land drop, so they had an interactive hand and are relying on that. We don't need to play the Broodscale right now. We can instead hold up the E-temp. Let's do that and pass. No attacks. Did you miss your land drop again? Ancient Stirrings, you did. An E-temp would probably be the worst case to see here, because then they could K-command X equals 2 and hold. Stomping Grounds is not it, though. Okay. Shock. 16. They could be holding another bolt, theoretically. Because they're probably running bolt over Dismember. So probably 2 bolt. Why shock, though, if you play nothing? You could play Rumble here. K command X1. I think that's about it. Talisman. Talisman still let you have red up, to be fair. Interesting. I mean, we just ramp Scry Draw. Second main. They're considering something, so they have something in hand they could play. X equals 3. Fleshraker, K command Emrakul. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, I think we go Emrakul. So top, top, top and draw. Trigger. Float. Blade. So confirming here, name Eldrazi. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If I were to play the Broodscale, we'd go down to 12. So we simply just don't have the mana to do both. Right? I mean, I think just casting the Emrakul is good enough. One, two, three. I guess I could equip Blade the Halfling. Two, three. I mean, you K command. So the K command X equals 1. Okay. Halfling down, scry draw. Not ideal, but fine. Our turn, comrade. Sire 7 deaths, sowing Mycospawn, Utopia Sprawl. Opponent concedes. Opponent concedes. Alright, win for game 2. 1 game off the 5-0. Let's go to sideboard, bring back in the gemstone, and cut the last Sephiroth. Yeah. Alright, let's run it back. I mean, definitely had a very interactive hand. Turn 1, Stirrings. Looking for E-Temp or Broodscale. Let's keep it. Pass. Forest Sprawl. Stirrings. What does Stirrings find? Finds a talisman. Okay. Draw. Overgrown Tomb. Overgrown Tomb, shock. Ancient Stirrings. Clearing Fleshrake, Landwar Waste, Cavernous Souls. I mean, I'm thinking Fleshrake for Fleshrake, beats at that point. Wastecape wouldn't be necessarily bad, though, to get rid of a talisman. Let's go with Fleshrake. But I am missing the E-Temp. I mean, we have a 1 out of 12 chance of an E-Temp at this point. I do wonder if Saga's right to play here, because we could play into a Nature's Claim, which would be kind of rough. Forest, Talisman. Utopia Sprawl into Talisman. Yeah, I mean, the ramp might get us here. 4 in hand. If they have an E-Temp or Glab, they're in business. We could Beseiju. No. Non-basic land. Unfortunate. In that case, I'm thinking land more ways to play around the potential for whatchamacallit, Nature's Claim. Play Ballista, X1, just to apply a little bit of pressure if needed. And we'll hold. Because Besage's not doing anything of value right now. We'll hold. Wooded Foothills, 4 in hand. They have access to 5. Talisman to 4, 3 in hand. That is 6 next turn. Do you have a Chrysalis? Chrysalis would be pretty good, admittedly. It's looking like a Chrysalis. I guess it could be a K return, but that wouldn't make much sense to cast now. Stone Rain, though, well, yeah, that's a Stone Rain. Pass. Draw. Rumble. Play Beseju. Rumble. Wayscape, Battlemage, Springleaf, Drum. Springleaf Drum is mana neutral. It's not a half bad idea. Wayscape, Battlemage can get rid of a Talisman, though. Let's grab. Other option is Wooded Foothills. Huh. I think I actually might go the Wooded Foothills. Again, like I said, it's mana neutral next turn. We want to save the spawn in case they Nature's Claim the Urza Saga. Alright, let's pocket the Springleaf then. We'll hold and go to combat for 1. They have 2 cards in hand and access the 6 mana. Attack. Down to 17. Wooded Foothill, fetch the 16. Commercial District, looking for something. Keeps it on top's a bit scary. Looking like a Sowing Mycospawn kicked. Yes. Okay. 2 cards in hand. Huh. Yep, Overgrown Tomb down, but Jukabog playing around a Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fair. Overgrown Tomb down. This does mean we're free to cast or play Saga without fear of a Nature's Claim, though. Draw. Traverse. That is actually a bit fascinating. Saga trigger. Springleaf Drum. Drum tap spawn. Glaring Fleshrake. Passing. And pass. I guess I need a hold. 3 in hand. I need them to just kind of run out of gas here because we are getting very close to the win. But it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. Because between Ballista and Saga, we do have the types needed for Traverse. Okay, Stone Rain, meaning that we now need to find a blade more naturally. Also just a land. Attacking, we'll take the 3, 2 in hand. Down to 15, second main. 1, 2, Unholy Heat. Resolves. Alright, land off top. Needs to be a color source, though. 3 types. No dice on the colorless. So, there is a choice we could make. I think it might be correct. Actually, tap you for green. Ping you for 1. Adds another type to yard. Green, colorless. For what? Flute. Flute naming what? Naming Blade of the Blood Chief? That would make the most sense. What else would you name? Basking Broodscale's fine. Traverse. Eldrazi Temple. Play Eldrazi Temple. I don't care about Flute for now. We have the Thief. For now, I'm going to Flesh Rake and pass. And pass. Chrysalis would be fine. Oh, another Myco Spawn would not, though. World Breaker? Even worse. Shoot. Now I need another temp off top. Or at least a color source. Color source would be good. Draw. Saga trigger. Okay. So we're going to tap the Glaring Flesh Rake. Thief. Thief will eat the flute. Okay, now all we need is the Broodscale. We'll hold. What did you draw? Ghost Quarter. Son of a... So Ghost Quarter against Saga. I'll take the 5 down to 7. Like, that was the worst land that they could have pulled. Yep. So now I need a color source. Forest. Draw. Okay, Broodscale. So I can go, I suppose, green, green. ETB. All right. I will pass no attacks. Come down to their draws here. One, two, three. We can K command X equals 1 to dig. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're fine there. Go to blocks. Block. Before damage. Sack. Tap. Sack. K command X equals 1. And done. Triggers. Halfling the bottom, draw. Ancient Stirrings, okay. down to 9. X equals 3 would only be 4 damage, though. Chrysalis is fine. We pass in full. If you find Blade, we win. K command. Ancient Stirrings. There's the Blade of the Blood Chief. We got it. Okay, good stuff. GG's. That was really close. But we navigated it just narrowly. A lot of lucky top decks. Have to be clear about that. Got very lucky a lot of the time. But that there will get us our first 5-0 with Basking Broodscale. Solid league. Almost a perfect league. We only got 1 game lost the entire time. So, I mean, the list feels good. Sephiroth feels good. We did update the sideboard guide as well as the list ever so slightly. We swapped Soul Guide Lantern for Vexing Bauble. I got a lot of feedback that Vexing Bauble main had more utility by comparison. We ran the numbers on the top 50 cards, and that was factual. Hence the switch. And then just some additional feedback on the sideboard guide. I was sideboarding out maybe too much of the mid-range pieces that have better matchups into the aggro decks like Zoo, like Energy, etc. But it's starting to come together. The sideboard guide's starting to make much more sense. Definitely like finding very small bits and pieces to cut here and there. And it's definitely very difficult to find like the right cards to bring in or take out at times. But it seems to be coming together. And Sephiroth's numbers have been really good. So I'm thinking that all 3 builds between Golgari, Gruul, and then kind of more Simic or Mono Green are all really good. I think each one kind of depends on the meta that you're expecting. I think Sephiroth probably better if you expect a lot of the mirror match, right? Because it is a mirror breaker. Even into energy, it's pretty good. Zoo's kind of mid until it flips, in which case it's great. So Sephiroth definitely has a lot of utility as a mid-range piece, which can combo off. And that's the biggest way that I would recommend viewing it as. It's a mid-range piece first with a combo finisher second. Hence why I don't think you should cut Ballista for Sephiroth. I think having both is probably correct. Still not sure if 4 is right, but 3 definitely, I would say at the very least. Chrysalis, of course, great if you're expecting more aggressive decks, Energy, Zoo, Prowess. I think that is where Chrysalis probably shines. And then Simic or Mono Green with Thought-Knot Seer, more if you're expecting a lot of combo, Belcher, Amulet Titan, Ruby Storm, even Goryo's, Living End, etc., right? I think that's where TKS really shines. But the deck's feeling good. I think the only thing that I'm still trying to figure out is what to put into the final 3 sideboard slots of Simic. I was kind of hoping to find something, equivalent to like Toxic Deluge or Fire Spout for Simic, but there really is nothing. So I'm wondering if maybe just since we're kind of angling that version more towards anti-combo, maybe instead bringing in Disruptor Flute might be right. That way you're able to, again, more anti-combo. Yes, we already have Pithy Needle, but more needle effects is never a bad thing. Maybe 2 Pithy Needle or 1 Pithy Needle, 2 Disruptor Flute, maybe then a 3rd Dismember. We'll figure it out. Otherwise, there's also maybe anti-combo for us, Into the Flood Maw. There's some options, but if you have any thoughts on that, what to fill those last 3 sideboard slots with, let me know, because I'm kind of scratching my head and there's these options. Are they good? Maybe. They're okay. But definitely could use some feedback. Otherwise, the core of the deck is fantastic. I think it really comes down to just those 4 flex slots between Sephiroth, Chrysalis, TKS. All of them I think are good options. The Saga pieces seem to be doing well when they come up. Obviously, when they're not relevant, it's kind of bad to draw into them or have access to them, but that's kind of utility cards in a nutshell. We saw that same thing with E-Ramp, with whether it be Bajuka Bog, Ghost Quarter, etc., right? But overall, solid lists. Once we get the data necessary to say for certain that like these are the cards that are working, I'll probably put a pin in Basking Broodscale, continue to work on the deck guide and primer now that the sideboard guides are more or less settled in, and then maybe start gathering more data on Airghast Eldrazi Ramp to get more of an idea of like where that deck's going, see if Airghast Eldrazi Ramp is the right way to go, or to stick with Teamer, maybe go to Gruul, maybe somewhere in between. We'll figure it out. Because the two decks that I 1000% am bringing to Vegas in November is either Broodscale or going to be E-Ramp. It's one of those two. I just need to figure out which one. And that's what testing's for. But that being said, that there will end today's video with, once again, a solid 5-0 trophy. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback would be much appreciated. For as much that I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. Hit the like button too, but definitely hit the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, at which point I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, allowing me to start saving up towards a streaming PC so I can stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, you can support me over on Patreon, where you get early access to my 2 videos and any updates I make to my deck guides. But with that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!